So diving straight into this is the fourth quarter, 3rd and 4 play at the 35-yard line. 2-minute warning. Chiefs have already burned timeout. 49ers are going to motion to a 2-by-2 formation using 6 guys in their pass protection, leaving you with 4 eligibles running routes. Chiefs use a 2-high safety look to discover their cover 0, which means they're rushing 6 players, having 5 guys play man-on-man on their eligible, so no safety help. So as I mentioned, there's 6 blockers. Chiefs rush 6, leaving McDuffie untouched coming off the slot as the nickel. So what does that tell you? Somebody screwed up. It's 6-on-6, and somebody went untouched. So starting off, CNC is going to be the 4th eligible receiver running the route once you see the play. Kittle's going to be their 6th blocker. So anytime you see a running back in shotgun, in this situation it's Kittle. It's going to be a 2-by-2 formation or a 3-by-1 with the passing strength going towards the field, even with the half slide going that way if everything was perfect. With that saying, with this 2-high safety look, you can disguise anything. So you got cover 2, Tampa 2, cover 4, cover 6, cover 1 robber, cover 1 thief, cover 1 green dog, cover 3 with a buzz, with it being regular cover 3 or cover 3 match. You can honestly do anything with this. So that's where Chiefs here in this scenario are going to go a cover 0, blitzing the nickel as McDuffie. Because that's where Chiefs have a history going 0, but when you can disguise it so much, you can't get a straight answer. So that's where, in this situation, CMC goes out as a receiver, as the 4th eligible, and that's where Reed follows him. So that gives you, most of the time, a man indicator. So you're going to have cover 0, cover 1, or cover 2-man under, unless if the safeties are going to double bracket 2 of the eligibles. And we're going to learn a lot of these coverages as we go through the Chiefs drives, just breaking this down. It sounds like a lot of information overload. It makes more sense if you know what I'm talking about. I've just watched a bunch of these, so that's where I got all this information. But one thing to point out that I like throughout the game is that you see McDuffie bluffing if he's going to blitz or not, kind of going in and out. And even during the broadcast, Romo at least called it out. Rather than putting all of them in here, I just picked up one where he was circling it, just to make it easier for you guys to see it. But one thing that needs to be called out is that anytime you're trying to figure out if a nickel could possibly be the blitzer when you're going through pass protection is if a safety is topped over the nickel. And the nickel just means slot corner. McDuffie was an all-pro slot corner this year. So in this scenario, if the line's paying attention, you're going to see that safety topped over him. So that's where 49ers should have sniffed that out. You could have had Kittle already set over there. But honestly, when you look at this, it looks like he should have been over there to begin with. Like, you can start on the right and come over to the left, but with that topped being right there, that was just a strong undercarry. And even Purdy couldn't even salt this out. He's got the best seat in the house. So the problems that you run to when it comes to defense, I think when you're playing defensive coordinator, you're picking your poison. There's so many pros and cons based on the way you line up, the personnel you put out there, what coverage is being called. So here, the Chiefs, there's a 10-yard gap between the safety and Ayuk once McDuffie blitzes. So that's where the risk comes into play, is that if 49ers end up throwing a quick slant, it's going to be open. So that's where, if you're going to bring cover 0, you better get to the damn quarterback. And this scenario, that's what happened. But honestly, it was 6-on-6. It should have not happened. So looking at this view, that's where you're going to have McDuffie start on the outside. If you would just line up in the B gap, that would just give away the answer from the get-go. So that's where he times this right with the snap, going from the outside to the inside, rushing right through that B gap, all timing it with the snap. So Kittle, Purdy, the rest of the offensive line, they all had a quick split second to figure this out. Now, if they would have noticed it was topped off, that's where they could have spotted out McDuffie coming. But with this, the personnel, it's not nickel, it's not dime, it's not dollar. It's closest to dollar, which will give you 3 down linemen with 2 linebackers and the rest being DBs. But here we got 2 down linemen, 2 linebackers with 7 DBs. So this is where Spags is pretty known for mixing up personnels, and this is where you get your crazy third down, especially third down, 3rd and 4 in the 4th quarter Super Bowl. So that's where Kittle and this O-line Purdy, they pretty much got fooled. And that's where online I've seen people like, all right, they could have made a base or solid call. That's where you declare Willie Gay as the Mike since he's the middle of the 3 linebackers. But the problem that you create with that is that's where you're going to have, yes, you're going to have the inside protected, but now you're going to put Kittle, who's not a running back, he is a tight end, doing pass pro as the running back. That's where he's going to get stuck doing a dual read from sideline to sideline. So that's where he's going to be looking over there to the right. If that dude doesn't come, then he's looking left. But in this scenario, that's where Spags line this up and bring the personnel creates the problem. Now, if you had a regular look, like an even look, which 4 down linemen, that's where you're going to have a 3-man slide because you break down the first unmanned cover is going to slide to the linebacker that did declare. In this case, it's Willie Gay. So that's where these guys are protecting lefts, half slide. So C gap, B gap, A gap, those are all protected. So you've got stunt, twist, whatever it's protected. Now on the other side, you split it in half. That's where you got man on man. So right guard, right tackle, right tackle on the defensive end, and that 35 is on the mic. So in this scenario, you'll watch Kelsey slide left or the half slide to the left, and watch 35. When Nick Bolton doesn't come, he doesn't have to stay and protect like it's freaking Madden. He'll go out and actually go do a real route. So with that being said, is this an even look? Is this an odd look? Not really, because there's 2 down linemen and Willie Gay's right there. So, but if those guys walked out, well, then you got a bear front, which would have been a perfect scenario because now you got 5 down linemen, 5 blockers. So you just make a 5-0 call. That's 5 one-on-one matchups, and that's when the running back is making that dual read. But when you guys got moving around, you got weird ass personnel. It's hard to figure out that answer. So Spags did a great job with the personnel and lining up with this. That being said, it looks like 49ers half slide to the right, which would have left Kittle going over to McDuffie first, leaving Purdy with the right nickel slot as his hot. So in other words, if McDuffie and that right nickel would have blitzed, that means he would have been hot. So that's a catch and throw. But with this, Chiefs brought 6, so it would have been blocked up just fine. So look, center's going to base block on Willie Gay. They're half sliding to the right, so that means your left guard and left tackle, they're man on man. Kittle swings over to the left. You have it blocked up. I'm going to let this play through. Right there, you even got the answer above. From the get-go, Kittle's eyes are on the wrong spot. And from there, if you keep looking at this, you got 4 49ers to the right, blocking 3 Chiefs, and you have 2 49ers to the left, blocking 3 Chiefs. Spags in the defense, really Purdy, Kittle, Spags, McDuffie, it was just a perfect storm. They won the X zone when it comes to the box. With this, as I mentioned, it's cover 0. If you notice, the boundary safety is guarding Kittle. So what that creates is that if Kittle doesn't go out, well, now he can sit down and be a hook defender, just creating more chaos since his guy is stuck protecting. So from the sideline, you got the first wide receiver running a 3-step slant. Ayuk as the slot receiver, he's running a dart. So this is a West Coast terminology, a line concept, which just means double slant. So dart, 1-step slant, outside is on a 3-step slant. So here with that 10-yard gap, as I mentioned earlier, boom, it's right there. It is open. 49ers could have got the first down, kicked the field goal. So now that we got the answers, watch this. They're half slide to the right. Kittle moves over to the left. McDuffie's blocked. Watching the play here. Nickel blitz. Ayuk's on his dart. 1-step slant. That's also open. Little details like this is why I'm like, holy cow.